What would I do if I could reach inside of me and to know how it feels to say, I like what I see?
That's the mark.
What would I do if I could reach inside of me and to know how it feels to say, I like what I see?
Welcome to Face Ass in Your Face. Why do I say that? Not in your face. I apologize. Not in your face. Ass in the face. Go back to episode 1. We'll preface it where you get the entire definition of what that means. I haven't even told you what that means, do I?
No.
Well, I just did tell you. I just did tell you what it means. Fast stands for ass in the face. When you look at the word fast, F-A-S-S-C-E, what do you see?
No idea.
You see the word ass in the middle of the word face. That's why it stands for that. With me today, we have a little, a little shenanigans today, a little tomfoolery, buffoonery, if you will. With me, I got my homie, my main man, my main homie from back in the day, Miguel Hurtado. If you ain't heard about him, you gonna hear. Eventually, he's not a self-aggrandized, not a self-promoter, nothing like that, But I'll get loud for him. This motherfucker cold as ice. He studied with the true heads. Okay, we got some true heads in the U.S. But in Europe, there's an appreciation for artistry that we don't have in the U.S. over in Europe. So we're talking about appreciation for jazz, for pure voices. Look at Suzanne Boyle winning the Simon Cowell, whatever award show, whatever singing contest they got over there. Suzanne Boyle won that, and because we have American Idol over there, but it's about the actual singing over there. If she was on American Idol, she would have lost simply because of her looks, But this man knows music, all kinds, all genres. All right, he can do them all. So, Miguel, when I heard that you were a drummer, man, I was like, huh? It just flipped my whole understanding of you as a person, because I had a true appreciation. He and I used to do martial arts together, but this dude used to be cold as ice. He still probably is if he wants to be. If he wants to be. If he wanted to be. But this dude was killing it. And so I had just one view of him just being this kid that was better than all the other kids at martial arts. And then all of a sudden they hear one day, bam, he's in Europe studying, and he also plays the drums. So when did you first pick up your first pair of drumsticks, man?
Well, I went to a fine arts elementary school, Ramsey International Fine Arts.
I remember that
in
school.
Minneapolis, yeah. And basically that's where I started. I think in like the 5th grade we had to pick a instrument for band. So we had to play strings first, and then like in kindergarten they start you in strings, and then in 5th grade we start with band. So I picked the drums. I saw the drum line at school, I think in like the 4th grade. And it just was really affected me a lot. So that's when I decided I want to play drums. Mm-hmm. And then it started from there, Yeah, just started learning at school.
You started learning in school
Yeah.
when you kept playing drums through high school? Did you play in the band in high school?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing. I started taking lessons when I was still at Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
So I started learning a little bit just with band, and then I actually had like a little band with a couple friends of mine, and we would just mess around at a little drum circle spot. And that's when I started playing drum set and just kind of experimenting and just making up beats. And I took some lessons from somebody over there, a couple lessons, and yeah. And then I started taking private lessons.
Who'd you take those from? Private lessons from?
He was an old guy named Floyd Thompson. He's actually a really well known teacher. He's taught some guys around town, and yeah, somebody recommended him to me. I started taking from him.
How old were you in that?
Maybe like 7th grade.
Okay.
So like 12. Right, 12 or 13. And yeah, and then
you were done kicking people in the chest by then.
yeah, man, I stopped that like probably when I was 8. Like after I got my black belt, man, I kind of stopped.
8-year-old black belt, man. Damn. Right. But yeah. So she started taking lessons with him, private lessons. You were about 12, 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that same time, I was also in the jazz band at Ramsey, and so I was kind of, it was going hand in hand. I would learn stuff at my lessons and use it at school, and I started really enjoying playing drums and playing music. Not any type of music in particular. But as I was in the jazz band, and my teacher there was giving me opportunities to play in like summer camps that he was running, like jazz summer camps, I would meet other musicians my age who were also learning how to play jazz. And I met some people who I still play with to this day around that time. And I was in like 2 bands by the time I got into high school, like youth kind of bands that we would get together and just try to play, man. It was really organic. And then after a while, I started to listen to jazz and like really get into it. And that's kind of, from there, it was just like, now I know that this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, cool, man. So how did it come about that you went to Europe and studied? How did you make that transition?
Oh, well, that was just a study abroad program.
Oh,
but
how long were you there?
I was there for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was great. I went to school in New York at the Manhattan School of Music, and they have a study abroad program with the Amsterdam Conservatory. So that's why I was there.
Did you play any music while you're out there?
In Amsterdam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, not so much gigs, but just playing with people at the school, jam sessions and whatnot.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. So you said you're affiliated with 2 bands right now. You're telling me about one is Courageous Endeavors and the other one is Hustle Road. What are the differences between? What's the difference in the music that they do?
Oh, they're totally different.
Well,
yeah, like Courageous Endeavors was like a modern jazz original. It's kind of like, not traditional jazz at all. It's kind of like a rock. Sometimes, sometimes very weird, avant-garde type of music. And
so you play the whole drum set with that?
Yeah. And Hustle Road is more pop oriented. It's like kind of funk, R&B, rock. There's like a front man singer, and it's kind of like more associated with like the Minnesota sound, Minneapolis sound.
Oh, so sort of like that. Does it fit at all with that Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis kind of sound?
It's kind of in that vein. Some of the stuff we do is kind of in that vein. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So do you have a preference for what kind of style that you like playing any more than the other?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've always played jazz since I was little. That's what I grew up playing. I didn't really start getting into other styles until I went to college. I started learning how to pay attention to really how to play these other, like, more pop styles of music, like R&B and hip hop. But yeah, still jazz is like what I want to do, and that's what I always strive to do more and get better at it.
You're just trying to keep, like, I think, I don't like the idea of old musical styles dying out, you know.
Yeah.
So do you think jazz needs to needs a revival of some sorts, or?
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think jazz is appreciated as much now as it was, say, 30 years ago. You know, I don't think it's appreciated as much here as it is in Europe. I think there's a bigger appreciation for jazz in Europe than there is for here.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Yeah, I mean, the audience, I don't know. That's a tough question. You could probably talk all day about that, but yeah, there's some guys out there who still play like in the old style, in the traditional style, and in that sense, I mean, I think it's great that they're still keeping that alive, but it's more important to me to that people, you know, push the art form forward. And there's a lot of guys doing that under the radar though, because he's not the audience. There's guys like Robert Glasper. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of his name has come up. He plays piano, right?
Yeah, and he won an R&B Grammy like a couple of years ago. He used to have dreads, yeah.
He's cut his hair now.
Yeah, but he is one.
Margot Davis saying she wanted to work with him.
Yeah, he's amazing. But I used to check him out in New York like whenever I could. But that's an example of somebody who really was able to blend genres, and like I said, he won the R&B Grammy. And he's in the jazz world.
So do you think it's going to have to be a blending of genres to keep people in tune with jazz here, you think?
I mean, jazz is special because it's you can blend genres very easily with jazz. Like, the one thing that makes it jazz to me is not the style. I mean, you can blend styles, but it's just the improvisational aspect of it that makes it jazz to me. So that is just based purely on improvisation for the most part, compared to other styles of music, which are, you know, not. But so yeah, you can blend styles. There's so many. There's Latin. You know, people blend like Israeli music and just anything.
Yeah.
You can blend it, but
calypso,
and then after a while, you know, like the styles just get blended, and you can't tell one from the other. You know, it's like you get different players together from different places with different influences, and it's just so many different influences. You know, it's hard to tell really where it's come from.
That's real.
But it works.
Yeah, man.
You know, because that's how jazz is.
That's how jazz is. It has never been a rigid thing, jazz, you know. I mean, there's always been certain things that make it jazz, even back in, you know, when they first started coming up with all the old styles like Delta blues and all that, and all the different types of blues and all that, you know, but it's always been very fluid, you know.
Yeah, it just happens, man, you know.
In the house, Biz in the cave, nah, Biz in the house, Biz in the basement, it's Biz basement. First of all, I'd like to say, reopen Ellis Island for all this Ebola coming into the United States. That's my political shit right there. Now, I'd like to go ahead and make my picks. It's gonna be, Biz in the house, Biz in the cave, nah, Biz in the house, Biz in the basement, it's Biz basement. First of all, I'd like to say, reopen Ellis Island for all this Ebola coming into the United States. That's my political shit right there. Now, I'd like to go ahead and make my picks. There's going to be 3 of them. I got Cleveland smashing Pittsburgh. I got Tennessee losing to Jacksonville. And I also have Tampa Bay.
Where reality hits. The commencement. Just graduated. Ran off the stage. Congrats on being a college grad. Ran off the stage with that diploma in hand. Threw the cap in the air like, yes, I'm free. With nothing to show except debt and a degree. Now it's out to hit the workforce to make some cash. Swear 9 to 5 wasn't in my plans. In front of computers typing data. Thinking of raps, watching the clock as the hands seem to turn back and dang. Mr. Bus don't have a car. Meet up with Zach with admirations to be a star. In reality, Paying back loans and bills, this one alone I own contains too many zeros, and my bank account is too low, to the point my bank statement says get up your dough. Thank God I can perform at a show, but still gotta wake up early, gotta work some more, gotta go.
When reality hits and I'm caught in the middle of my ego trips, and the world don't stop and life don't quit. When reality hits, so why? When reality hits, bills need to get paid and it's still coming in, and my job ain't enough and I'm barely making ends. When reality hits, so why?
When life gets harder, you learn more. I'm constantly giving a hard time, trying to even scores. To play the game, either cheat or be cheated. Only give my attention if needed. Paying back student loans, looking for a job that will hire. Same thing next week, probably get fired. This one room apartment ain't big enough for my ego. Worst come to worst, just me and my people. They ask what I'm doing with my life, say nothing much. Hopefully something new with a little luck or determination. Couldn't be a doctor, didn't have the patience. If money talks, I'm lost in translation. Follow the path I made with no hesitation. When reality hits, gotta take the blows. I know where I'm gonna go.
When reality hits and I'm caught in the middle of my ego trips, and the world don't stop and life don't quit. When reality hits, so why?